So welcome to the second half of our show. When Windows says do an update, do your goddamn update.
Ty, I have to say the way you went out of the call was absolutely hilarious because it sounded like a cell phone just slowly breaking up until nothing.
Well, hopefully that part recorded. You should get the first part uploading soon as everything rebalances itself on my computer. Welcome back, everybody.
Good job. I wanted to talk more about Taco Bell, but you
know, we were talking about Shinsuke and how he's doing the dark matches on SmackDown to keep people from leaving.
Well, I mean, it's funny. Lou, did you watch that 16-second clip?
Yeah, that's why I said that dude no-sold the shit out of that drop kick and just.
Well, when you really a drop kick is just a push. Now just to fucking shut up, you stupid website. Okay. You know, the wrestling website tried to start a commercial.
Of course it did.
What I showed Lou, and I'm sure Reed's watched it, and Ty, you need to watch that.
Yeah, I couldn't watch anything while
you were updating. I know. It said, when you fight MMA, but you grew up on WWE, and the motherfucker actually throws a fucking drop kick.
Give props for that.
Yeah, he throws a fucking drop kick. Now, mind you, a drop kick is not actually an effective kick. Okay, let's be really good. Unless you have Wolverine's adamantium skull and you're using or adamantium bones, and you're throwing yourself as a projectile into the drop kick, just jumping up and doing a drop. I'm sorry.
Or if it's a double drop kick, brother.
Oh, jeez.
That one.
Yeah, that was a double drop kick, and I'm like, dude.
No one's getting up from that one, brother.
No one's getting up from that one, brother. Now, no, not everyone can pull that off like the Rock and Roll Express. But a drop kick, really, the effect is really a push, not so much a kick. So when the guy got up after it, he was probably more confused than anything else.
Yeah, he gets up, dude, what the fuck, and just starts hammering the guy.
Yeah, sort of. No, it was. I mean, I give him props for actually being able to pull off a drop kick, and now it tells me that in a cage, I should never, ever, ever pull a drop kick into cage. Although I would like to see if I could roll up somebody into a camel clutch, or at least a modified version of it.
To see if the ref counts it, brother. That's another one.
Yeah. But no, it's kind of funny that this kind of stuff comes up. Wrestling affects other things, and other things affect wrestling. I kind of had the wind pulled out of the sails because of the hilarity that ensued on Ty's computer. So I think I'll just sort of end it there. But I do have one thing that I do want to complain about.
Okay, before you go further, I just got into my Facebook feed. The fact that Ty took the time to put the fancy colored border around
it was automatic. I just typed that out. And it was like the first thing that came out. I was like, really?
He took the time to make it look artistic, folks. That should be next week's title. That should be the title card for this fucking episode.
Bullshit! I'm the one with
OBS. We'll make it the title card for the next one.
That just made my night. Computer started updates. And it's a beautiful aqua blue and green. That's.
I don't know why that happens when I type Facebook from my phone for like 3 seconds without me telling it, no, don't put in this faggy background. And since I didn't do that, since I was too busy praying my computer didn't, my damn near $15,000 computer, $100 computer didn't implode.
All right, Ted. See.
Hey, $15,000 within a couple of years of buying each and every part slowly.
Well,
McBrother.
Yeah, really. That's how I feel. There is some more news. WWE legend Vader passes out during match.
Oh, wait, he's still
Ooh.
working?
Yeah,
He
that was like,
he just took a fall because he came down on his head
yeah,
during the match, so he just took a tumble. He just kind of fell on his ass.
yeah. He, let's see here. While competing at a show celebrating the 45th anniversary of the debut of Tatsumi Fujinami, Vader had a moment where he briefly passed out. We noted that the incident occurred because he was dropped on his head and not related to his heart problems. We're happy about that. Someone else wrote about the incident as well. It was not lost consciousness collapse, but he fell to his back after the match right when Inoki was coming out to give a speech. Muta and Akira were giving him water and trying to keep him cool. He eventually rolled out and walked back and with minimal help. Walked to the back with minimal help. He did somewhat stumble there too. Once in the match and after he and Ricky were exchanging blows, he very much legit fell to one knee. He was surprisingly active during the match and even did a turnbuckle spot. He's in terrible shape and wasn't looking too comfortable in the ring. He has 2 more events this tour.
What a scumbag! He's in terrible shape.
Well,
Hey,
he's always been big. But they don't have a picture of the actual match, so I can't see what's going on.
no, I watched said show. I actually watched that earlier.
Oh, okay.
He just kind of fell back, and
Yeah. Okay. So
Oh, so he just stumbled
we can
in.
we can legitimately call this Reddit user a scumbag. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So he's in decent shape. I mean, he's not going to be the 450-pound solid mass that he was.
Yeah,
And
well, you gotta understand too. The guy, he's older now. If you're looking at a show in 2017 and expecting to see fucking WCW
1993.
Invader, no, but
No.
No.
But there is something that I kind of want to think about, and I just wanted to run this by you guys. Do you think the figure 4 is being done incorrectly all the time?
yes,
Is it by
You're
from
not
the
the only
Miz?
one who
Yeah.
thinks that.
By the Miz, yeah.
I bitch about that all the time that no one does it right anymore.
That they're always attacking the wrong leg.
John will tell you I go off and pitch and moan about that all the time.
Oh, jeez. I'm so glad I'm not the only fucking
No one
one.
does it right anymore.
Okay,
Every
so
time someone go for it, I'm like, do it right, and it's like, God damn it.
okay, so for those of you who don't understand what we're talking about, even Flair does this, okay? They always attack a certain leg. They're always attacking a certain leg. Chop block, drive the knee, ring post, whatever. DiBiase's done it wrong. DiBiase used the figure 4 for a while in Mid-South, so it shows you what I've been watching. Let me tell you, I have had more exposure to the Big Cat Ernie Ladd now than I have had in all my years watching wrestling. Bob Roop has done it wrong. Paul Orndorff has done it wrong. Lots of people have done this wrong. So they'll take the leg, and instead of trying to create the pressure on the leg by using the good night Reed, using the leg to try and break the knee, they actually turn on that particular leg, making it attack the other knee.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to figure out what the hell good does that do? If the other knee is getting bent to feel okay. Just like, what the fuck? Although I have to admit there are some other things that I've seen where
okay. Sorry to cut you off, but freaking this guy that I follow on Facebook, if you know anything about, tape trading and stuff like that, it's Roy Lucier. He's a really cool guy. I used to get a lot of my Japanese stuff from him.
Okay.
Basically on Tatsumi Fujinami's Facebook, he just did a live video with Vader, and Vader looks fine.
Oh.
Well,
I'm gonna share it on my main timeline just so people can see it, to see that Vader's okay.
okay.
All right. Well, that's good to know. And
That's good.
And now that confirms that Reddit person's an asshole. And see,
Yes.
I post these episodes on Reddit, and hopefully he stumbles onto it. Hey, you're an asshole.
So that's the one thing that I keep getting confused on, because it's like, why in the world are you attacking the wrong leg when you're doing the whatever?
So
but it seems like I'm not the only one who thinks this.
No, I point that shit out all the time.
Oh boy. Well, let's look for something to fill a half-hour with. Remember classic wrestling games?
This show died.
Honestly,
Yeah, because this was supposed to be us making fun of Dixie Carter. We had no other topic this week. And John,
your technicolor typing.
I thought you were about to say technical issue colored typing.
well, that too.
That as well. Oh, Jesus Christ. I just made a mess.
What?
Everyone knows that I collect laser discs and shit like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the old bicycle movie Rad?
I've heard of it.
Someone just put up the laser disc copy on eBay. I'm afraid to see what the bids are at now.
I assume at middle finger.
He's like, when I first saw it, it was $15. It's only been up for about an hour, and it's already at $350.
Capitalism at its best, folks.
Yeah, I have it. So I'm good.
It's why I can't. It's why I can't get nice things like the Zelda amiibo that I want,
or the NES Mini, which is discontinued,
or the NES Classic and all that other bullshit. Anyway, this is a wrestling podcast, classic wrestling. I'm still watching Mid-South, guys.
Well, he actually mentioned classic wrestling games, so technically
we were actually in. That's why I said
it's something new. That shows how much I've been paying attention.
Since I knew that itself was going to be a multi-part, I figured, okay, well, might as well have fun with classic wrestling games, because I know once we get to the 2000s, that will be a whole episode.
There we go. So, by the way, I did look up Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. It's actually fairly cheap. So I may think about getting that.
My favorite.
So yes.
Tell you something. Straight up, me and my buddy Gabe, we'd play that shit for hours.
Yeah, I know, because I would sit there and watch while you two play for hours.
Especially if you play through the fucking story mode and unlock everybody, everyone's in that game.
So.
Everyone. And here's another thing, you can make a little note of this, write it down. The podcast already went to hell anyway.
This week's already went to hell. I'm just, for the people who doesn't know how big of video gamers we are, and you haven't figured out the pro wrestling, this week in pro wrestling is just a title card for Sega's original pro wrestling. I just moved it up now. But there you go.
And there's people like me who own every system dating back to the 2600. So yeah.
Yes, and you still like my shelves.
We're a quartet of gaming geeks as well.
Yeah.
So. And this gaming geek, Lou, will beat me religiously Raw for the Sega Genesis because he had God fingers.
Oh, jeez.
You have the old acclaim wrestlers. Oh,
yeah,
man.
where you mash buttons to do your specials, and he will always have his at full, and I'm sitting there desperately with all my hands. And mind you, I played games like George Foreman boxing with my cousins, so my fingers aren't exactly like out of shape, but yeah.
At least they aren't twisted over from jiu-jitsu like mine are right now. Yeah, it happens.
Crunchyroll is going to start broadcasting Attack on Titan season 2.
And they've been doing that. They do.
I have a Crunchyroll account. I've been watching the Boruto series for a minute.
Well, I mean, well, screw you guys. I didn't know. I'm still 2 weeks behind on Super.
Yeah, not only are they doing it on their service, they're doing it through Verve. Whatever the fuck Verve is. I have no idea.
Well, like I said, I'm still 2 weeks behind on Super.
Shit. So classic wrestling games. Well, let's see here. I own the original WrestleMania on the NES.
awful.
That
See?
game is absolutely awful. It is
And
absolutely
it could be
awful.
worse. It could be Super WrestleMania.
I have that one too.
Okay, Super WrestleMania wasn't the one for the Genesis wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
Although
unless you
if you got hit by Warrior's clothesline in that game, you're a goddamn retard.
if you got hit by
I'm
Warriors
not
clothesline, you deserve to lose the match.
yeah,
Are you talking about super or regular?
Super for the
Super.
Genesis.
Because
Super for the
Warriors
Genesis.
clothesline, he'll do the whole animation and then dive at you. So
That's
if you
about
don't
right.
see that
Yeah.
if you don't see that very slow moving bullet coming, I'm sorry, you deserve to be shot. Everything else was like a bitch to land. Like, I don't know how anyone hit the $1 Million Dream.
Oh
Dude, the
man.
write-off. I've only done it once in that game.
Like, the write-off in Raw and Royal Rumble, easy. Write-off in Super WrestleMania, you have to, like, put in, like, a 15-hit button command and then pray to the 6 deities and hope that the move comes out right.
And someone just decided to lay on top of my phone because he wants attention.
That
Oh.
sounds about right. Now, the other big game that there were two other sets of games that I liked playing that weren't exactly wrestling games, but were wrestling themed.
Okay.
One was probably one of the funnier games I played, WrestleMania, the arcade game.
Ooh.
See, one of the only people that I thought I was one of the only people who actually liked that game.
Oh, I think it's fantastic.
No,
It's
no,
fantastic.
Dude, me and you played
It's-
WrestleMania, the arcade game. That's the only
No.
game I was able to beat you at, the PlayStation version.
God, I thought I was one of the only people that actually liked that game. I thought it was fun as hell. A lot of people
It is.
bitch about it.
A lot of
Your house was fun too. A lot of people say In Your House was god awful. In Your House was fun too.
I never got a
And-
chance to
and-
play in your house.
And you see, I think part of the reason why people think that they're stupid or awful or whatever is because they're not really wrestling games. They're fighting games with a wrestling motif. But that's fine, considering how silly it was. I mean, I'm probably one of the few people that actually could have pulled off at the time Razor Ramon's 24-hit combo,
Oh god, no.
which was originally a 21-hit combo, but I was able to modify it.
You're speaking to the other one, it's not me.
I know. I still can do every mega combo in that game.
Those combos are.
I had to learn Shawn Michaels Mega Combo because that's the only way I was able to beat Lou, and that was on the PlayStation version, which had considerable lag.
And the bad part is, you know what version I played?
Which one?
Genesis.
The unknown PC version.
There's
Oh
a
no, I've
piece-
got it. You see,
So-
yeah, I have here my old laptop. I have it installed.
yeah, it's funny because a lot of people don't remember that. So I actually want to try and grab an arcade board of WrestleMania, the arcade game, whenever I finally get a super gun and finally play it that way. Because it's funny as shit to play. Particularly, there was a glitch I saw one time I think it was on Facebook. No, it was on Twitter. What was it? Something was supposed to happen. I think there was it was Taker and Shawn Michaels. Michaels goes up to the turnbuckle. He does a jump, and Taker does a headbutt and headbutts Michaels out of the ring.
Ow.
Okay.
Damn.
Well, this is in WrestleMania, the arcade game.
Yeah, but still.
So he lands on the floor, and Shawn Michaels starts rolling. You know how you roll, across the ring if you want to roll, if you want to avoid shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he starts rolling up the floor, and then up the railing,
Up the railing, up
and
to
up the audience.
and then
And he
up
just
to the
keeps
ceiling.
going.
I think I've seen
He
that.
just kept
glitch.
going. He kept going.
Now, fellas,
And there were 80 seconds, left in the fucking.
That's great.
Now, fellas,
So
when we
that-
talk about classic wrestling, we can't forget about freaking WrestleFest.
Well, you
Oh,
can't forget about that, but I will say, we also can't forget Muscle Bomber.
Ooh.
that game was
Yep.
awesome.
And for those of you who don't know what Muscle Bomber is, we also know that as Saturday Night Slam Masters.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday Night Slam Masters was a Capcom game, wrestling game that, again, was really a fighting game with wrestling stuff. Even Brian Zane got into this, and he somehow was able to figure it out.
Hagar FTW, by the way.
Say again?
In that game.
Oh, you're talking about Hagar?
Yeah, Hagar's theme is just so fucking awesome in that game.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I wish I had that on loop. I could just play it at random time.
Hagar was in the game. Some dude named Gunlock was in the game. People thought it was Guile or Guile's brother. And they did actually have wrestling moves in there. You could do an Irish whip, you could drop kick, you could do all sorts of stuff like that. There was actually a sequel to the game that didn't come out here.
But that one played more like Street Fighter, though.
Yeah, it did. That one was actually more like a fighting game than a wrestling game. But Saturday Night...
No, not the version. Not that. Oh.
Yeah, I was trying to look for it. They said remix. I thought I had the original.
Saturday Night Slam Masters was good. Now we can talk about WrestleFest and there were two of those, weren't there? There was WrestleFest and Superstars.
Superstars.
The original and WrestleFest.
Right.
Well, Superstars. Go ahead.
The original Superstars is one of the only WWE games to have the Honky Tonk Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember the strategy for being Superstars because me and you did it. Wait till Andre the Giant tagged out and murdered DiBiase. Because anything you did to Andre the Giant didn't do shit.
The only people who could slam Andre in that game were Hogan and Warrior. No one else could do anything to Andre in that
You
game.
tried to regular attack you, he literally just bitch smacked you. No. You try to slam him unless you're Andre and Warrior and do significant damage beforehand. He just looks at you like, what the fuck are you doing? No, the entire strategy was wait till Andre eventually got tired of chasing your ass around the ring, tag out the DiBiase, and then beat the shit out of DiBiase. Because
By the way, exact sprite DiBiase and Duggan.
Say it.
They used the same exact sprite for DiBiase and Duggan.
Oh, jeez.
The colors, yeah.
They just changed the color. I think the color of their tights.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was the strategy for that team. The strategy for WrestleFest is just don't be at less than 30% health in the Legion of Doom's corner. Especially if Animal's the legal man.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no!
Because you will eat a Doomsday device, and that arcade machine will eat another quarter of yours if you want to keep going.
Speaking of wrestling references, I know that some of you guys look up vinyl for video game soundtracks, and of course, recently Brave Wave put out the soundtrack to Ninja Gaiden. We're talking about the old ones, not the newer ones, starting with the Xbox. These are the NES classics.
The NES classics with the Birds of Doom.
And also the arcade game. And of course, anytime we deal with wrestling, I have to mention Ninja Gaiden, the arcade game, where in the second stage, you face the bosses of the Not Legion of Doom, consisting of Not Road Warrior Hawk and Not Road Warrior
Animal.
Hawk. No, not Road Warrior Hawk, because they never made a second sprite for Animal. It was two Hawks. And they, of course, had to come out to not Iron Man. And just so you know, Lou, they're $35 right now through Mondo, unless they've. Huh? Say again.
I think the thing with Mondo, dude. If you know anything about their stuff,
they sell out real quick.
In the first 2 weeks, you're gonna have to pay an exorbitant amount.
Well, it's only been 3 days, so.
Yeah, like when I got the Phantasm soundtrack, I was like, holy mother of Christ. I think I literally got the last copy they had in their warehouse. And felt the need to mention it to me, and the thing like, hey, you got the last colored vinyl. I was like, oh, thank you.
So
Phantasm disc, they actually made the vinyl the color of the little balls. So it's that
Oh,
cool, like a cool metallic silver.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So-
I collect vinyl.
So
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
whereas I don't care, so I just have the digital because yeah. But yeah, that was video games and wrestling kind of go hand in hand to a degree, and not just in terms of wrestling. I mean, the influence is there all over the place,
Oh.
whether it be through Hager being a former professional wrestler or the Not Road Warriors.
Being
or
so many video games.
or
There's so
sorry?
many.
or TJ
There's so many.
Perkins.
Yep. There's so
Oh.
many Road Warrior clones in fucking video.
There it is.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, let me stop before copyright from Capcom comes up.
That should
And
just be called- honestly just be
honest,
called the theme of manhood.
Say again.
That should honestly just be called the theme of manhood.
and honestly, TJ Perkins, I hated that music. I really did. I'm
Well,
sure he's a nice guy.
But it
Well,
sounded like
apparently, heel and no one cares.
yeah, he turned heel. I don't know how you gonna make him heel. Does he still have Dr. Wily Castle 2 as his theme song?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he still does the faggot dabbing, but he's supposed to be a heel.
The Mega Dab.
Well,
thing.
the dabbing can be a heel move.
Well, the
if you
dabbing
do
could
it
be.
right.
I thought the dabbing was a heel move. Like, fuck you, I'll dab anyway.
Well, the one thing I do have to give him, when he first turned heel, he put out that tweet. He's like, "Remember, Marks, I'm the guy that cost you Ibushi versus Saber," and I thought that was great.
Hey, that's great.
Now
That is
that's how
great.
you turn heel. You take that
Yeah.
tweet and you put it in front of the crowd.
I gotta give him credit for that one. That one made me go, "Huh, touche, sir."
There you
You're
go.
s-
There you go. So, but like I say, video games and wrestling they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. We don't know what the hell Yuki's is going to do with WWE 2K18.
You need to start making a damn simulation and let us just have fun and let it be arcadey again.
Well, that's the problem because
Well,
the last time they tried doing that was No Mercy, and that was a terrible experience.
But think about all the arcade games we had. We just
Tell you
mentioned.
something, All-Star was a fucking blast.
Say again.
All-Star was so much fun. I
Oh, look,
wish
we had-
All-Star.
We had
Fucking
All
super.
Stars going back in time. We had All Stars. We had Royal Rumble from Sega, which I hope now that Sega and WWE are working together. I know it's just for cell phone games, but at least a couple people say, let's have let's have Royal Rumble 2.
Oh, WrestleFest. And do it right. Not like the way fucking these people did it before.
Like, that's the only problem with WrestleFest is that who owns the contract now?
I don't know.
Because remember, Titles went out of business. And I forgot who. And then, whatchamacallit took over. Let me wiki this real quick.
Well, let's first of all, Technos did go out of business.
Yeah.
First of, unfortunately, guess who did the game for the remake?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, but go ahead.
THQ.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just saw it. And
Now,
now I remember, because that game was supposed to be ported to consoles, and then they went out of business.
yeah, now
Yeah.
let's.
If you have a modded or JTagged Xbox 360, you can actually play the fucking WrestleFest.
Yeah, the original or the new one?
The original.
No,
Oh,
you
say
can
again?
actually play the one.
New one.
Now, how is
John
that game? Because I never touched it.
See, I personally liked it. It was one of those where because John used to have it on his iPad. For me, it was one of those games. You know how they make those extension controllers for the iPad?
Yeah?
Yes.
It's one of those, you need a controller to play it, because playing it with the touchscreen was a pain. It's a pain in the ass. Buddy, you do not need to claw my face to get my attention.
Yeah, that's why I was waiting for the console version, because I felt that I saw the gameplay like, you need a controller for this, and I assumed the console version would be much more fuller.
Because remember, I don't think it ever got an Android release. I think it was literally only released on Apple devices, and that's it.
It is only an iOS. It is only an iOS game. That is
Yeah,
correct.
because like I said, by the time they were supposed to get to Android,
I don't
then
even get it anymore. Like, I don't even think you could get it anymore.
yeah, because THQ went out of business, so the license is in the air.
It's probably been delisted. Now, Technos did make WrestleFest.
That was all Technos.
Guess who owns all the rights to all the Technos stuff?
Who's that?
I think Square, doesn't it?
Nope.
Please don't tell me the evil empire that is EA.
No.
Sega?
No. Arc System Works.
Interesting.
For the 3
Yeah,
people.
Guys,
Perfectly.
the guys that make Guilty Gear or made Guilty Gear. I don't know if they
Like
still
the
decide to make Guilty Gear.
Guilty Gear,
and Blaze Blue.
Blaze Blue, and fuck Paris Alcia, I mean Arcana Heart. Or was that Arc
I forgot
System?
that they made that. Did they make Arcana Heart too?
I
keep
think
forgetting.
I have to check my PS3 collection.
Sorry,
So-
Mike. You're extra affectionate right now for some reason.
Cats. As I've had to explain to Shayna Baszler, who again is also wrestling in AIW this weekend. Go see her in Cleveland. All 6 of you that don't live in Cleveland,
Start walking.
start walking. Yeah, really. She does not like cats. Hates them with a passion. She's a dog lover. She's a big dog lover. I have 2 cats and a dog. I understand both sides of the equation. My dog is sleeping on my bed right now.
Yeah, that's a correction. Arc System Works is a publisher for Arcana Heart. Yeah.
Okay. Now, and she does not like cats. As I've had to explain to her, I love my cats, but they're complete sociopaths.
Dude, but you know what's funny though? I've had people tell me how much they hate cats, but when they meet Buddy, they fall in love with him.
Well, that's because it's your cat. See. So,
Yeah, but
you know,
Buddy's a sweet cat until he did like a literal. Okay, I'm about 6'4", so I have my arm extended out. Sitting down, I'm still about 3 feet tall. Buddy jumps up from a standing position, flips, and then grabs my arm like an upside down luchador.
well, you know, things kind of work like that. So there is a possibility, at least, of the engine still being there. So you never know. Who knows? I'm sure at this point the WWF WrestleFest, retitled WWE WrestleFest, we could see a return to that with even newer wrestlers. You never know. It just sort of depends, because THQ is now owned for the most part by Deep Silver. So it depends on whether or not they decide to really go in that direction.
Why does that name make me shiver?
Because Deep Silver are the guys that own the Saints Row franchise.
Oh, that's a good thing.
I love those games. Those games get shit on for no reason.
Oh no,
Well, they're not bad. No.
Oh, I was thinking something. I was thinking of another game, but yeah, Deep Silver's good.
Yeah, Deep Silver. Well, Dead Island's not all that good, but Deep Silver. But they at least have a decent library out. Obviously,
that's why that name makes me shiver. They published Mighty Number 9.
Oh yeah. Well, that's not their fault.
But that's not their fault. That's Concept.
That's not their fault. That's from Concept and Keiji Inafune and all that crap. But yeah, like I say, we'll see what happens with the next WWE game. If it lives up to my standard of being able to make Carl Bertananana Deluski from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and if it can live up to my dream of finally being able to make Space Ghost the way I did back in Here Comes the Pain. You got to understand, my Space Ghost. Oh my gosh! Because I was able.
At one point, Lou was like the master of calls of wrestling.
Yeah, I mean this. I'll have to pull up pictures one of these days, because I got my PS2 working with my FrameMeister again, so I found my old memory cards. So all the stuff that I did for SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, still exists. So I got to find all that and maybe take some pictures or some shit like that, because I am at the point Those are very interesting cats. The images that I can get off of my FrameMeister now are so clean that you can eat off of them. So wrestling has just sort of been everywhere. There are more wrestling games, I think, in Japan, obviously, than there are in the United States. Obviously, Fire Pro Wrestling is a big name in Japan, to the point where they brought Fire Pro Wrestling back again.
I'm going to go out on a limb that's probably going to piss off the 3 or 4 viewers that we do have.
Way to steal my joke.
I personally think Fire Pro Wrestling is extremely overrated.
Heat.
Heat.
I honestly think that game is extremely overrated.
I remember we got it for the Game Boy Advance when it came out here in the States.
For fun. But it's like there's people who go on, oh my god, Fire Pro X for the SNES was amazing. And Fire Pro D for the Dreamcast. Bro, that shit was boring.
Didn't we get Fire Pro D and we went right back to Royal Rumble?
Yeah, the ones for the fucking GBA were great games. And I loved Fire Pro Returns for the PS2. Let's get that, that's one of the best games for the PS2, not just wrestling. I'm talking about games in general, because the fact you can also do K1 fighting and all that shit in it too. And it's just fun, and the editing tools are just amazing on that.
Well, right now, so what you're saying is you're not going to get Fire Pro Wrestling World on Steam Early Access right now.
When it makes it to the big systems, when it makes it to the freaking PS4, I'll grab it.
Yeah, that's supposed to happen.
Exactly creaming my pants and touching myself over fucking 2 videos of it. Like some of these, oh my god, it's gonna kill WWE. No, it's not.
So I assume John already pre-ordered the Steam version.
No, because John looks at it the same way I do. We both like, something. Most people are like, oh my god, Fire Pro. I'm like, no. My thing with me and John is John's more of a Giant Graham guy compared to fucking the Virtual Pro Wrestling series. And the Giant Graham games are good, but they're not wrestling games. It's fucking Virtual Fighter.
So there's a punch, a kick, and a jump?
A punch and kick, and I assume a grab somewhere?
Because the things with with Virtual Pro Wrestling is more a simulator. With fucking Giant Graham, it's more arcadey Virtual Fighter style. Mm-hmm. The punch, kick, a grab button, the finishers and all that shit like that looks awesome. Plus, in Giant Graham, they use the authentic music. So Brody actually has, that fucking Zeppelin song and all that shit like that, which is freaking cool as shit, but,
Yeah, Japan doesn't have the same copyright issues that we do here in the United States.
But Brody, you actually see him coming to the ring, swinging the chain. Huss, it's fucking... Giant Graham is an awesome game. I just really don't consider it a wrestling game.
Hmm.
So I always tease him about and tell him he's a fucking mark because he likes Giant Graham better.
That's where that comes from.
And we were just hearing a minute ago like, oh yeah, Royal Rumble was fun. And that's as arcade as you could get.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like, but you can't compare those 2 games, and that's what I always try to tell him. Oh, bro, it's better than Virtual Pro. I'm like, dude, it's 2 completely different styles. I like the Giant Graham game. Giant Graham 2000 was one of the most fun games on the fucking Dreamcast. And by the way, I've actually played the arcade cabinet to Giant Graham 2000.
Cool.
Which was, by the way, a Naomi board.
Yeah.
And I've actually found the cartridge for it at one point or another.
And who did you have the murder to get it?
That game is fun. Dude, that game has Bruno fucking Sammartino in it.
Oh damn.
And just so you know, Royal Rumble is also around, and it's not that expensive. I mean, it's like $50 for just the cartridge itself.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
So that's not bad at all.
By the way,
say again?
Are we still recording?
Actually, yes. We are.
Oh, that's great. Just gonna be like, oh, these guys never shut up.
Well, it's only been 3
Well, it's
hours.
only been an hour and a half, actually. Because the first half was an hour before my computer decided to say, yeah, your broadcast is over now.
Oh, so
Technical fuck ups.
geez.
Yeah, kids, when your computer says do your update before you have any long-term details. I'm actually glad we didn't have John, because that would have literally killed, probably would have been our second best episode.
Yeah.
Probably. And there are 2 giant grams.
There's this one, and then there's Giant Gram 2000.
Well, what's funny is I'm seeing. Well, then there might be 3.
I think there's like a more fancy version of the first one. So it's
Well,
not really the first one. It's like an update to the first one.
So Giant Gram 2.1.5.
Yeah,
Oh
like
my-
I keep seeing Giant Graham, and then what's funny about it is it seems to mention New Japan
Hmm.
because it says Zen Nihon Puroresu 2, and then this is all shit that I look up when I'm bored and I have nothing else to do, folks. And then I guess that was the original Giant Graham. Okay, so there is an actual Giant Graham 2000 cartridge, which apparently is right now going for a bid of 2.86 pounds, which for those of us who don't know any better, it's $3.67. Of course, it's going to cost $25 to ship to the United States if I decide to bid on it, which I don't because there are already 7 bids put in on it. But I guess the original. Go ahead.
No, fucking Giant Gram 2000 is a fucking blast. For those of you who have fucking Dreamcast, you can find the disc for fucking cheap enough.
$24 complete.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a fucking fun ass game. The unlockables are really cool. That fucking game has like Dick the Bruiser, the Destroyer, Bruno Sammartino, Pedro Morales. They went all over the place with fucking the unlockable characters. Yeah, Japanese and American legends respectively. Like I think Boss is in the game. I haven't played it in forever. It makes me want to fucking hook up my Dreamcast just to play it because I have it here.
What's interesting is that every time I see Giant Graham, it seems to be Giant Graham All Japan Pro Wrestling 2.
Yeah, that's because remember there was the first one like that where it was freaking practically an arcade game for the Saturn.
Okay. So the first one was
I think it was
I don't remember what the designation for the arcade was for the Saturn.
But because I actually have the Saturn one on disc as well.
Yeah, nope. They've only given me Dreamcast, so that's interesting. And of course, now it doesn't want me to look for anything else.
Like you stop spending money.
I just
like
checked the email about that WrestleMania promotion too. I was like, oh, that's what this one was for.
That you were entered into the thing?
Yeah, it's like, thank you. As one of WWE Network's long-term subscribers, you have automatically been entered into our WrestleMania 34 sweepstakes. Feel the power of WrestleMania by clicking on the video below.
And it's just the New Day saying everything that the email mentions. Oh.
Hey, I fucked Sage.
Well,
that's how I walk up and introduce myself to people if I was Xavier Woods. Hey, there's video of me fucking Paige. I'm Xavier Woods. Just off that stupid fuck. Yeah, you know, so let's talk about Del Rio. You're a stupid fuck, Alberto.
Boy.
Having balls, but instead of calling out Triple H by name like a man, you just call him the man with the big nose.
Oh yeah, we forgot Del Rio got drunk, and despite Paige, quote, trying to stop him, Del Rio went on a drunken rant against WWE.
Yeah,
he's a idiot, and he's a mark for himself.
Now, before we start, let's all remember that as we're saying this, Paige is still a contract employee of WWE. The
Still
only
under
reason she
contract.
hasn't been shit canned yet is because they don't want.
That movie.
Say again?
Because of all the money WWE put into that movie about her family.
Not just that, but remember that they don't like firing people when they're on the injured list.
Soon as you're healed, hey, you're back. Congratulations. Get the fuck out.
More like, hey, congratulations, you're back. You're jobbing to Nia Jax, Bailey, and the return of Eva Marie. Have fun.
Now Eva Marie's gone.
I said the return of.
Oh.
They'll bring her back for one day just to
For
have her
one
job.
match.
Just to have
No.
her job.
Come on, let's do it right. Let's make it realistic. They're going to have her job out to Bailey, Nia Jax, and the return of Kelly Kelly.
I was actually about to say Maria.
I was like, who was asking for Kelly Kelly to come back for the fact that they're even considering it?
Yeah, I know. It's just like, what the fuck?
So Del Rio.
So Alberto L. I have drank too much Patron.
Yeah, pretty much. There you go. You just summed it up.
You mean the fact that I come up with funny names for the authors of Pain? I've been able to translate that to other people. Oh no!
Isn't that special?
Shit. Shit. Yeah. So Alberto Del
Drunken.
I need a sponsorship from a tequila company in Mexico. I don't even think he says Mexico like a Mexican anymore. I think he actually pronounces it Mexico these days. Because apparently people don't know how to pronounce Mexico correctly. Just you watched it. I only heard about it.
I watched like a couple minutes. I'm like, this guy's an idiot.
Same here, so I don't have the whole thing. Let me the real drunken video. Let me time to go on YouTube.
Yeah, so that's them's are the shits, folks. Just why in the hell is it doing what it's doing, and why in the hell is this that? There it goes.
Okay, Alberto Drunken Rant.
Oh, Paige is Paige trying? Wait, Paige is
Yeah,
trying
Paige
to
is
tell.
trying to stop him.
It was the bartender that was trying to steal my credit card again. I'm still trying to figure out this thing.
Yeah, he's about to go crazy. Seriously, he's got issues now.
We got to get sync play going. We
I
gotta get
know.
sync play going, so
I
we
would
can
have.
do shit.
I would have done it this week, but like I said, I was in coding hell, or else I probably would have had it fully up and running.
When we gonna get married?
I thought you guys were already married, motherfuckers.
Why I don't see what people are saying?
Because you did this.
So how do you know all these things?
Because I've had Periscope before, baby, and it's obvious.
It's not obvious. We're from different generations. So I don't know how this fucking shit works.
No.
And if you wonder,
Oh God.
yes, I'm a little bit drunk. And
Now, is the divorce finalized?
I don't know. Give me a minute to actually. I'm gonna mute my mic just enough so I could hunt down the Triple H one that I'll unmute it. So step me out for 3 seconds.
Oh.
You can continue to talk.
Good, that dick is gone. I hate that.
that was trying to steal my credit card again.
And no, this is a repeat from earlier, but this is a 7-minute long
Trying
one.
to figure out this thing.
It's the 7-minute long
Yeah,
one.
he's on Periscope crazy. Seriously, he's got issues now.
Siri, you both have issues. One likes threesomes, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
That's never a bad thing, sir.
Come
You
here.
don't-
Tell them what we're gonna do. When we gonna get married?
You guys are already married. I already said that.
Why I don't see what people are saying?
Because you did this.
So how do you know all these things?
Because I've had Periscope before, baby, and it's obvious.
I'll bet Paige is starting to regret that marriage license right now. Because you can just hear it in her voice. What the fuck?
Like, what the fuck?
And if you
He's
wonder
old
if
enough to
I'm
be in
drunk, yes, I'm a
cups.
little bit drunk.
This is-
And you know that's when the good stuff comes.
Oh, is he talking about the tequila he's drinking?
I think so.
Well, he's not
I just
wrong.
wanna
If
say I love
the
you
good
guys.
stuff
I love
only
you guys
comes
for
from
supporting us.
Mexico.
Not like I'm seeking for support, because as you know, I'm Albero El Patron. I don't give a fuck if you support us
Jesus
or not.
Christ.
But for the ones supporting us, thank you so much. And for the pussy ones out there behind the fucking keyboard talking shit about my baby, talking shit about me, fuck you. You know you don't have the balls to be where I am, to stand in front of me and say what you are saying behind the keyboard, pussy. You remind me of one of the bosses in WWE with a big fucking nose, just a big fucking pussy. Pussy. Little pussy. Anyway.
Pause it for a second. Pause that for a second.
All right.
First of all, yes, we are schmucks, and we are schmucks who are doing a podcast over the internet. Secondly, he sounds really, really plastered.
He looks plastered. This is like I said. This is one of the few moments I wish I had sync play fully up and running. I still have to put in the server. Once that's done, then yes, we'll actually be able to see videos on the podcast as well.
And I think that's important, because we got to be able to look at this shit and riff on matches and other stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this is just too good to pass up.
Now, thankfully, this is more audio because it's just a bad recording of Alberto and Paige walking through an area.
Well, yeah, because I think it's all on a cell phone.
Yeah, it's all on a cell phone, and they didn't get the hint of tilt your cell phone to the side to record, asshole.
And that's because that's the popular thing to do. See, you gotta fucking keep it normally, up and down portrait, so that way people know that you're recording this on a cell phone.
Yeah, I record shit on the cell phone. It's on my actual YouTube channel. You know what I do? I tilt the damn cell phone.
I know that you are of a rare breed.
Anyway, I'll go back a couple of seconds and then we'll continue.
Yeah, go ahead and continue this bullshit. This is just hilarious.
What say, Lou?
There's one thing I want to sneak in just because it's February 21st and it's been a year. Rest in peace, Prince. Thank you.
Of course.
Yes.
And
It is April 21st, but it is the correct date. Yes. Minnesota has been declared Prince Day.
Mm-hmm.
Declared Prince Day. So.
And yesterday was declared 420 Day.
All time. Purple Rain is one of the greatest albums ever made. I love Prince as much as I love Queen and professional wrestling.
So you like Highlander just a little too much.
Yeah, pretty much.
And possibly Flash Gordon.
I'm a huge Freddie Mercury and Prince fan. So when Prince died last year, I put it up on Facebook, and I'll even say it here again: losing Prince was like losing Freddie again.
Mm.
But at least it's not Freddie Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're probably playing Amazing Rock.
And I'm talking about his father. Fuck the little blonde douchebag. His father was one of the greatest comedians ever. His timing was fucking impeccable. The way that he did things.
So back to the El Patron.
Back to this.
Grant.
Back to yes.
You remind me of one of the bosses in WWE with a big fucking nose, just a big fucking pussy. Fucking pussy. Little pussy. Anyway. What were you trying to say?
I don't know, baby. Honestly, I have no idea why. He just wants to go on
Is this your
Periscope.
phone or my phone?
That's your phone.
Okay, look at this. We're in New York. One more time.
Phone.
To give you a fair, they look like they're in Times Square. I'll continue.
Need to know something about this.
And apparently he's doing gyrations.
Come here. Are you embarrassed by me? Are you embarrassed of your husband?
In Times Square, it's trying to show off a bulge on
No,
Periscope.
baby, I'm trying to explain them that when I used to work for that company, the company filled with pussies. Well, when I used to work there,
Takes one to
I
know
used to
one.
hate you.
Say it again, Lou.
Takes one to know one.
Now,
Now I have a different feeling. I have a different set of mind. We love New York. We did. What's it? Times Square.
so he doesn't know where he is.
Look at this one. For a day.
For a day, yeah.
Shows tomorrow. Thank you so much. No.
Yeah, it's like day.
Come on, get the juices flowing. We have free drinks. My juices are always flowing. They're always flowing. I can tell. This guy.
Obviously, your juices weren't flowing that much if you were caught taking fucking Viagra. Part of your.
Say before this guy interrupted me. No, she's not coming back until I say she's a man.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh, he's going into the Mexican again.
Okay, this is just because I like you. I'm gonna tell you this. She's not coming back because she's pregnant. She's expecting a little Albero, a little Patron down there.
Oh no.
You were taking pills because you couldn't fucking get little Alberto to work. That's all.
Okay, I'm gonna be serious for a minute. What are we trying to do? Am I buying another ring? Oh, you need to know this. Tijuana cops stole your ring, right, baby?
Yes.
What?
So now, because I was
He
doing
probably
what I
actually
wanted,
dropped
she
the
tells me,
ring accidentally.
What? What?
Periscope happy. He's very obsessed with Periscope.
I am. What is? What are we doing now?
Well, they're kissing at the moment, if you're wondering.
Oh, it's a video of Paige wearing clothes.
As you know, I'm at the one always fighting in the street. I know you can see those cop cars. I promise you, I'm not gonna be arrested this time.
This time, he says.
You know, I'm close to the next town, Stanford. I could go. I could pay a visit to somebody.
You're not going anywhere.
Stanford is only 45 minutes away. That's where
Nice, we're not traveling 45 minutes.
Yes, and you driving there would be a really bad idea.
I can go there and just knock on someone's door. Hey, big nose with a small dick.
Baby, where's the store? Because it's
That's
cold.
the guy who got popped with Viagra, by the way.
Sorry, guys. She's embarrassed.
Wait. What is he? What the fuck is he gonna do? Is he gonna like knock on the door of the office and then leave like a flaming bag of shit in front of it, and then run away 40 feet, hide behind a bush, and laugh?
Knowing him, he'll probably
Titan team while he's lighting it. That'd be even more amazing during the video.
say again.
If he plays his theme from Titan while he's doing it, that'd be more amazing.
Well, it looks like we have 2 more minutes, so hold on.
The fuck was that noise?
Well, remember, they're in New York City, Times Square.
I will drive you to Stanford.
No, don't encourage it.
See. Let me tell you something about Stanford.
Come on.
About his Stanford. Oh yeah.
Where are you taking me? We have a hotel room. We don't have to get another room. You getting it?
I know. You're getting it.
You're Latino head.
You are not Eddie Guerrero.
Okay, guys, I gotta go because I just got with the sun. If you don't stop saying stupid shit, you will not have any sex tonight. And guys, I want to have sex tonight. I have to be rewarded after a hard day of work.
To be fair, I would agree with that, but I don't need the help he
For
has.
you, hold on. You don't tell me what to do, woman.
Oh, he just didn't get the sex.
I have to get the blue pill for my pee-pee to work.
What I was going to say. One more time for the ones out there supporting us, thank you so much. And for the ones not supporting us, go and fuck yourself. And if you have the balls, just knock on my door. I live in San Antonio, have a restaurant, La Cantinita. Just go and try to find me there if you have the balls. If you have the balls to say something bad about my wife in front of me, La Cantinita 1604 in Blanco, have the balls to show up. Bitch!
Bitch. Is that your attempt at sounding like a teenager?
Why I have so many hearts again? Stop it! Explain me the hard stuff. Explain me the...
And it's just stopped.
Jesus Christ.
That is almost near meltdown. I mean, we sit here and we laugh and we throw jokes at this, but
Before you go further, what I need to explain is the reason I failed that drug test for the WWE is because my bolas, they don't work. So I take pills. I take pills to get my pee-pee to stay hard.
I believe the word you're looking for is testículos.
Testículos? No. See, that is educated. I'm from the slums of Mexico, so that's why I use terms like bolas or timbales.
Oh,
Hold on, let me check.
This is true. This is true. In the words of John Cleese, I learned classical Spanish, not whatever the fucking dialect that is. Bloody dialect that is.
It's sad how many slang words there are for balls in Spanish.
Yes.
Sad thing is, I just found a more recent Del Rio video. He looks sober this time, but it's funny.
Let's save that for when we get sync play going.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we're just gonna sit here over what sounds like a cell phone and go, what the fuck? Because oh gosh, there's some comic gold in there, and there is just some shit that is absolutely poor. I mean, like I say, what Del Rio did for Paige after the bullshit that happened with the video, that was actually good.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually good. This kind of negates it. Not really. I mean, there's some stuff here and there. You know, it's just him being on a drunken tirade. I don't know why he's pissed at Titan. I'm starting to call it Titan, WWE.
I guess you stole it from me and John calling it.
Yeah. Well, I mean that unfortunately is also a Warrior thing too. So, but
that put over, brother.
pretty much. I don't know why he's that pissed at WWE. I'm not saying that they could have used him. They couldn't have used him any better than where he was, because they could have. They could have.
You know what I want to say as a shoot before you go any further? I just want to get this out there. If anything, WWE should get mad at him because of the money they spent to bring him back in the second time around.
That I'll agree with.
How much did they spend the second time? Because I know they paid him a mint the first time.
And he got. Here's the thing. I'm sorry. I just took over your whole thing here, Will.
Well, you probably have a better point than I do, but so go ahead.
I mean, I don't want to sit here. I don't want to discredit the fact, because the guy's a hell of a wrestler.
Yes.
He was also an MMA fighter, and his pedigree, his father's Dos Caras, his uncle is Mil Máscaras. He's fucking wrestling royalty.
Now, granted, his MMA career was shit, but, we won't.
Hey, right now it's looking better than Punk's MMA career.
Well, yes, but that's because that's because a lot of people have better careers than Punk's career.
Including the late freaking, what's his name? Go ahead.
You're talking about Kimbo. That's not nice.
I'm sorry.
I liked Kimbo. Kimbo's a street fighter. You put him in there with a bunch of rules, of course, guys are going to knock him the fuck out. Well, Kimbo was, I should say. Yeah.
Yes.
But, yeah, I mean, Del Rio was a hell of a hand. Del Rio had fantastic matches. I was a fan of Del Rio's. His stuff with Jack Swagger, those were damn great matches. His matches with Cena.
Mm-hmm.
were really good. His matches with Ray were also freaking extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, the 3 or 4 matches he had with Punk and fucking Ziggler,
Mm-hmm.
the guy's good. And it wasn't just one of those, oh, well, he was in there with so-and-so. No, Del Rio held his own. But it's just the fact that he felt that someone else said this, I just can't remember who right now, but he felt that he was fucking like a Hulk Hogan, where he was more like a fucking, like a fucking mid-card guy.
Mm-hmm.
Del Rio's an extraordinary mid-card. He'd have been great as a fucking mid-card heel. But as a main event, no.
Like you can see
He wasn't
better
going to be
with
the guy.
a U.S. title than a world championship run.
You're not going to build your company around El Patron. How's that?
Yeah.
No,
Well, you can build a company around El Patron, but then you'll have guys like Scott Hall and Jake Roberts before they clean themselves.
And these are. I got to get my bearings again.
Well, he was knocking around jiu-jitsu today. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, it wasn't my head that was knocked around. It's just it's also 1 a.m. for me. What Alberto is doing here, I think, is just he's venting. I've heard this type of venting before. Whether with the drinking kind of helped that, and Paige is obviously being the voice of reason, particularly after he wants to have sex tonight. And then he of course he says the line, "You don't tell me what to do, woman," and then of course, fuck after that. It's just like, well, that's the guess who's that's the moment where
that's where you have the classic line. That's where you have the classic line. It goes up like, "This is where you realize he fucked up."
Yeah, so I do hope that things go well for them in the long run. But this certainly didn't help, and it certainly doesn't help Paige. Particularly if they, and this is a big if, I have to admit, if they decide to keep her.
Yeah.
Because that's not burning. That's not fucking
not burning
bridges. That's That's fucking demolishing a bridge. Not even it was an absolute demolition, no pun intended, of that fucking bridge. I mean, it's very clear to me that he's very mad about where he was in there, and here's the thing, Alberto, this is the United States, and I'm sorry, but unless there is something else that sticks out, you are not Eddie Guerrero.
Yep.
And
as much of the business as Eddie did.
And to be fair, also Guerrero was also born in the United States. He was a Texan. But that pedigree of the Guerreros is everywhere. Yes, Mil Máscaras was a big deal. Dos Caras is a big deal in Mexico. While Mil Máscaras did come over here. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's not as going to be as a big deal as, say, a Hulk Hogan or a Macho Man Randy Savage, or dare I say, an Eddie Guerrero.
Or Brutus Barber Beefcake.
Well, not him so much.
Not really.
So much. Or, I mean, for crying out loud, I'm watching Wayne Ferris before he became the honky tonk man. I have never seen a bleach blonde Wayne Ferris.
No, you want to see some really crazy bizarro shit? I was going through one of my drives that I have here at the house. What the hell was that? Exactly. I was going through one of the drives I got here at the house, and you want to hear some funny shit?
What?
I've got Macho as a heel working a face honky for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah. Yeah, because well, that's not as bizarro because at the time in WWE, Honky Tonk was a babyface.
Yeah, he started as a
He
face.
started as a babyface, and it wasn't until later that his big run with the Intercontinental Championship happened with first of all Jimmy Hart, and of course Jake
Confidence.
Roberts.
The Honky Tonk Man vote of confidence. That it actually started before the Jake.
True, but the big heel turn really happened with Jake Roberts on the Snake Pit. Now, oh gosh, just the Guerreros were everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The Guerreros were everywhere in the United States. One of these days, I need to look up these people because California, particularly Southern California, wrestling is extremely unknown. I don't know what the hell happened to the territory over here at the time, particularly when we're dealing with something like, say, the new Budokan, who had the worst face turn in history. Which included things like, "Is that for true?" and "I'm sorry that happened." Okay, this is an interview where they go, where this guy named Budokan, who's a big black dude, immediately turns babyface after he's dumped somebody and his kayfabe hospitalized them. Okay, and the guy interviewing him goes, "Well, what about that? What about the fact that you injured your opponent the last time?" "Well, I'm sorry that happened." What? And things like, and then of course he also says, "Is that for true?" And I forget where that came from, but gosh, it was just like, what the fuck. But the Guerreros were a big deal in the South as well, not just through Texas, but gosh, you'd see Hector Guerrero and Mondo, and fuck, Chavo Sr. was heavily featured on Mid-South.
Mm-hmm.
And they had, and of course, the Guerreros were also a big deal in Southern California under the LaBelles. And by LaBelle, I do mean Judo Gene and Mike. I have no idea how in the hell they ran it to underground. I will have to ask Vandal Drummond. And that's a name that most people won't know. Mostly because I didn't know it either until recently. Dos Caras and Mil Máscaras are big names in Mexico that have a standing in the wrestling community, but motherfucker in the IWC or motherfucker who's just watching WWE isn't going to know who they are.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Alberto is not Hulk Hogan. He's a good transitional champion. He is a good mid-card champion. He is not somebody you're going to put the back of somebody on there, particularly as a heel.
Which he actually wants to be, but, well, can't.
But that doesn't work. There are very few people that can pull off being a heel and have the title to be the one to carry it. The last person I saw do that was AJ Styles.
Yeah.
And that's because AJ Styles had some of the most amazing matches of 2016, both in WWE and in some cases his own career.
I mean, and that's just because he's a freaking maniac. I mean, he's just that good. He can take flippy stuff and make it mean something. I mean, that's if it means something, if you flip through a table and you stay there for 2 minutes, it's meant something. It's not like falling through a bunch of chairs and then 20 seconds later you're back up.
Mm-hmm.
I wish Alberto all the best. I wish Paige all the best. This isn't going to be good for anybody. You need to lay out the Patron and because honestly the Patron that we get here is the shit Patron, not the stuff we get from Mexico. He is correct. Good tequila you have to get from Mexico. I drink Don Julio myself. So maybe you need to lay off the Patron and go find Don Julio. That's all I
I'm
can say.
straight edge. I don't drink.
I guess this is a good place to leave off the show unless anyone has anything else to add.
Well, that's about it.
Fuck the Bucks, fuck the Owl, fuck Omega.
Of
Yeah.
course. And of course,
The theme of manhood.
and good night, everyone. Let me stop before I get I don't think Capcom's paying attention. Good night.